A corruptive presence has invaded the Federal Bureau of Control. Only you have the power to stop it. What is now your weapon in an epic fight to annihilate an anonymous enemy through deep and unpredictable environments? Containment has failed. Humanity is at stake. Will you regain control? Control in a nutshell is a third-person sci-fi action-adventure game with light horror and RPG elements. It's pretty damn sweet overall. Played on the PC via Steam Maxed with RTX fully on, combined with DLSS 2 at 1440p. We completed it in just under 35 hours, with 44 of 67 achievements unlocked. All side quests found completed, minus that jukebox after release nonsense tier 2 free. We did tier 1 of it, and DLC is covered in separate reviews. I guess it's time to see if Remedy continues its control on single-player narrative-driven action games. See what I did there? Remedy continues its control on single-player. I don't bother. Let me know you want more of this by staying tuned, subscribing, belling, and liking if you haven't already. It boosts morale and lets a brother know we're on the right astral plane. This is good, bads, and uglies, then we drop a score. 0 means straight up no, 5 average, and a 10 a must for anyone with a screen. Or at least an object of power of some kind that could allow you to play such pleasures of the flesh. Good things. This game is a ray tracing showpiece. If you're looking for what all the fuss is about with RTX and dynamic learning something, I forget what the SS is. This is version 2 of it in implementation here with a control as well. This is the game that will show you what ray tracing is all about and the fuss. And it's deeper than just reflections, by the way. It's how light reacts with things, and it's mathematically accurate, and it just adds to the immersion. That's what ray tracing is all about. It's not about just eye candy. It's about immersion. It's not even about ultra realism, really. All about immersion. This game showcases that. There's a great voice acting and performances from the main protagonist and its cast of characters, especially a certain janitor. You'll see.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me.
Fun physics. You throwing things with the power of your mind. And mechanics overall work really nice together. Lends nicely to the Metroidvanian style gameplay that leads to a desire of you wanting to discover things, new things, and especially when there's things to upgrade with the RPG elements in the game. There are excellent sounds, effects, and presentation style in this game. Little things like the bold text that you get on the screen when you enter a new location. This adds a nice cinematic feel and flair to the production. There's an interesting and intriguing story, setting, and core concept. Makes for tasty potential of ideas, content for future of the setting of the game. It can go into weird and wonderful places, the concept. Think of it like a mature version of a Men in Black or Warehouse 13 Alan Wake style game. This is that. This is it right here. It's cool abilities and useful upgrading weapons, skills, and mechanics. And yeah, it's going to add to the freedom and feel in that Metroidvanian aspect I spoke about earlier. Lens into these upgrades and abilities that you have. You can also upgrade weapons, and that's always a nice thing. Interesting world-building notes, videos, and recordings. But there is a bad aspect to that, which we'll come to afterwards. And also, threshold kids. Show your kids this to help them live a stable and normal life. Or rather, fracture their mental well-being thereafter likely, so don't do that. But threshold kids is a joy. Now the bad. The map is a hot mess in this. You much have to rely on memory, so I wouldn't leave this one too long between plays. I had a sequence where I was literally going around a tundra. Is it a tundra they call it? And it's going around in circles trying to find a place because I completely lost all my map knowledge from leaving it for a period. So yeah, don't rely on the map in this game. Just play it, finish it, enjoy it, and then you won't have to worry about getting lost. The quest targets and completion parameters, goals, and backtracking can be a little unclear, tedious at times, especially when you couple this with the map. That definitely reads like someone that wrote something, right? Because I was reading directly there for sure. And I put at times twice for some reason, so I'll remove that. There we go. There's also some busy work quests here and there that repeat perhaps a little too much for my tastes. Mainly because they just don't really fit with the story depth and the narrative. This feels a bit at odds that you have a game here that kind of flows nicely with this kind of realistic world and environment. And then you kind of just, all of a sudden have this, hey, go and clean up more mold. Okay. I also should add as well that it's a little bit, the respawning thing's a little bit odd in a way. That is a thing in this game, and it kind of leans into that same ideology. It makes sense in terms of the mechanics, but it kind of fills a little bit of the realism of the thing. Even that makes sense in the context of the story once you get what's going on. So it's fine. It's just worth mentioning. And finally, there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of reading if you so choose in this game. Now, while the documents are relevant and story enriching and worth the read, boy, oh boy, is there a lot of it. And I mean a lot. Yeah, I mean more vocal narration probably would have been nice. It wouldn't have gone amiss. Because there is a lot of reading. The way they present it doesn't feel like it's a lot, but you're probably going to end up reading 2 or 3 Skyrim books worth of material if you read all the stuff like I did in this. So keep that in mind. As for the ugly, there's none really. So with that, it's time to drop the score for Control Ultimate Edition main campaign. Oh, I shouldn't say main campaign, but main game, because we did side quests as well. So main game and side quests included. No DLC in this case. I forgot to put bad for the freaking thing I didn't like, which was really the jukebox thing. It was kind of annoying. It just repeats itself. I should add that in the bad. So as a kind of footnote, yeah, the jukebox thingy just repeats the same. You repeat the same thing 3-4 times over for some costumes and that. I didn't like it. I thought it'd be different stuff each time. Anyway, with that all said, the score for Control Ultimate Edition main game is 9.5 or 9.5 if you're like pedantic about it. Out of 10. Nigh perfect. Another excellent game from the Finnish Masters. A must third-person action game. And Alan Wake fans. Has the story and set and depth you'd expect. The mechanics work really well. They're fun. And the game with ray tracing is the definitive showcase for NVIDIA and ray tracing tech. Especially when coupled with DLSS 2. I loved it. I'm not going to edit that. We're going to stick with the ray tracing. You now have the option to check out the 2 DLC reviews for this game on the screen. That being the Foundation and AWE. You can, if you haven't, also subscribe, like, and bell up to stay up. Share your thoughts below, and arigato.